Welcome to Urban X Real Talk Fitness Radio, where we challenge the fitness between your ears. I'm your host, Tiaja. Today is a special day. It's a landmark day for this show. It is our 100th episode of Real Talk Fitness Radio. Now, I've successfully trained thousands of people from every walk and station of life. I've trained elite Olympic athletes, professional sports athletes, collegiate athletes, high school, as well as what I call the everyday athlete, which is you. Which is to say, I have over 3 decades of experience as a personal trainer and life coach, but I've had zero experience as a podcaster. When I first decided to podcast my experiences and ideas about fitness, I wasn't quite sure how they would be received. After all, I was very aware of how different my health and fitness philosophy was versus the so-called experts. My philosophy has always been to train the individual from the inside out, not the other way around. And it only made sense to me. Think about it. What difference does it make if you can lift all the weight in the gym and yet can't lift the cares of the world once you leave? What difference does it make if your body is perfectly sculpted but you are suffering from bouts of depression? Are you still healthy when you can't face the new day because you are filled with hopelessness and despair? Well, I can't imagine how you could be. After all, health is wholeness. It is flow. And when any part of you is divided, then you become a divided house, and thus you are not healthy. It's as simple as that. What nearly all of the so-called experts forget is that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And you are more than a nice physique or a beautiful face or an athlete. Those may be things you have or talents you possess, but they are not who you are. Who you are is much more complex than that. You are greater than the sum of your parts, your mind, body, emotion, and spirit. And when any one of those aspects of who you are dysfunctions, every part of you is compromised. This is the true definition of disease. It is the compromised self. However, if I wanted to take advantage of you, like the multi-billion-dollar health industry, I would deceive you into believing that you can get healthy just by working out 5 minutes a day or eating a certain way or performing a certain exercise routine. But sadly, most people are looking for shortcuts to fitness nirvana, and there are none. If you are 20 pounds overweight, for example, do you really believe you can lose it in 20 days? Body fat is no more than stored calories, which is a measure of stored energy. So once your body begins to store more energy than it uses, something is sorely imbalanced, which means simply addressing the stored fat is an exercise in futility. Why is that? Because getting rid of the fat only solves the effect. It doesn't address the cause. What would cause your body to store more energy than it's using? I have also believed in empowering each individual to answer such questions for themselves. That is, to empower them to accept full responsibility, which is ownership of their results. See, I can help you achieve any health and fitness goal, but only you can sustain it. So I train what I affectionately call the fitness between your ears. When I started this podcast, I had no idea that it would reach people from all over the globe. Our podcast has been heard in nearly 100 countries and translated into just as many languages. I am very proud of that fact, but I am in awe of the sheer number of lives we have touched and changed for the better. Grandmothers and grandfathers who are now an inspiration to their sons and daughters and grandkids. Now, how awesome is that? This is what it's really all about for me. It's about you. It's all about you. It's always been about you. If you listen to these words through the lens of your mind, you will see the dance. You will see molecules and atoms and electrons and subatomic particles all moving in a deliberate celebration. It may appear solid at the tempo of my voice, but if you really lean in, it will give way to an astonishing symphony. It is because you and I and everything in between is in a state of perpetual motion. You only appear to be sitting still listening to this podcast, but your body is a biochemical field of vibration and frequency. All information you receive comes through your senses. So my hope is that in these first 100 episodes, I have said something that has sparked something amazing within you. I want you to understand that the mountains you are confronted with are not solid either. They too are moving, and they too are transitory things. Your spirit understands this better than your mind, so trust it. Trust your spirit. Train it, for it is the purpose of your temple. Your spirit understands gratitude and mindfulness and energy and health and work and love. It understands the whole you, not just the sum of your parts. Always remember that you were born with a higher rank than fitness. For fitness is but a single step. You were born with the highest rank, which is health. Health is the quantum leap that propels us over every mountain. Dear friends, I wish above all things that you prosper just as your soul prospers. You've been listening to Urban X Real Talk Fitness Radio with your host Tiaja. Until next week, as always, walk in health and peace. And thank you all so very much.